Once again, good evening, friends. So now we have to discuss about research questionnaire and pilot study. Okay, research questionnaire and pilot study. All right. Okay, research questionnaire. When you are talking about, we cannot tell that okay, this is what the questions you have to put, but we can give any guidance, guidelines like no, these are the components you need to look into it and. What are all the types of options you can give because each one's research is different and they have to create their questionnaire based on the objectives. Again, I'm talking about with relation to objectives, dear friends. Again, your questionnaire, because objectives, we say that it is measurable. It should be measurable in the sense there should be numerical information for that to calculate or to give an analysis for that statistically to prove the hypothesis or disprove the hypothesis, or statistically to explain a particular objective. We need data for that. If you have to have a data, then you need to provide questions related to that. Okay, so now again there should be a coordination between your questionnaire and your objectives. All right, objectives and questionnaire should go in hand, and then if at all the components of objectives are there, then hypothesis will be taken care of. If your hypothesis is addressing components present in the objectives, say you give some hypothesis, then you cannot you have not given questions for objectives, I mean questions in the questionnaire. It's not possible to prove. That's why I'm telling hypothesis, objectives, there should be coordination. In objectives, you might be measuring one component, but in a hypothesis, you are relating all these one component, whatever you have measured, you are relating with each other. All right. So one minute. So we are relating the objectives. Okay. It can be seen, no, sir?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah.
It is very clear.
So it should be there should be a coordination between your objectives and now questionnaire. Okay. Now let us see what all issues are there in the questionnaire. In this session, we are going to talk about construction of the questionnaire only. All right. Okay. Now we have seen in the last session. Okay. Steps in scientific research. Okay. We know that, again, I'm repeating the same thing. Select the topic, gather the information. That means literature review, ROL, which is a review of literature, same thing. Form objectives and hypotheses. I think we have very elaborately discussed about objectives and hypotheses, okay? After that, you have to prepare a research design. That means synopsis you have to prepare. In that, you have to mention which method of data collection also you are using. Then you have to conduct experiment, okay? Or you have to collect the data. How to collect the data? You need to have the instrument to collect the data, right? After that only, after collecting the data only, you can analyze and then interpret and then publish. So to perform experiment or conduct survey, okay, we need an instrument. We need to prepare a questionnaire. See, in social science research, observation method will not hold good at all. Okay, even observation method, if you adopt also, you need to prepare what are the list of the questions what you need to observe. Okay, preparation. See, what is the meaning of questionnaire? Questionnaire means the list of questions, but it should extract the information what you want. Okay, nothing, it's not like some questionnaire I got it from one article, this questions I got one article, these questions I am putting together and making 100 page of questionnaire. It is not going to help you at all, dear friends. It is sure, or sometimes see one like she's a very, like immediately after her MCOM, I think she joined for research, and she was telling me that 2 years she took to prepare the questionnaire, and that questionnaire and her topic, nothing is there. I told her literally on the face, you simply wasted your time. You're lazy, you're not put your head into what you're doing. You wasted, and I told her literally, you're lazy, you're not done hard work. It is not that I'm sitting and seeing some questions, okay, I can take it this and all. Not like that. Coordinate with your objectives. You look at your objectives. You're not telling that, oh, my objective is there in synopsis. What is the use if it is there in the synopsis? While you're preparing the questionnaire, if your objective is not in your mind, okay, or it is not in your sidewise, there is no use, no, dear friends. So okay, now preparation of the questionnaire means it is a, you are setting up a list of questions which will extract information for you, for your data, your research, and which will address your objectives, which will address your objectives. Okay. Now, one objective doesn't mean that one question, not like that. One objective, so you have a set of questions. Another objective, you have a set of questions. Another objective, you have a set of questions, okay? And you don't ask me how many questions I have to give. Nobody has told you how to have so many questions, and you shouldn't be going beyond this many questions. Nobody has told us, okay? You have to have so many questions which has to deal your questionnaire, or I mean your objectives. So you need to give so many questions, but cut unnecessary questions. Unnecessary questions will simply waste your respondents' time, and it will waste your time also. Simply you're putting, and also maybe it is questionnaire, to prepare the questionnaire you have to spend money also, like in the sense you have to take a printout also, simply waste of money also. But more than wasting your time, you are simply, your respondents simply get harassed. Some questions which are not suitable for your study. See, it is helping you. The information, see, whatever information given by your respondents are precious, because they're giving you information. You should be blessed actually, because why he has to give you the response, why he has to fill your questionnaire. You're giving anything to them? Nothing, right? They're giving their time to fill your questionnaire, so you also have some responsibility towards them. You give them set of questions which are deriving only your objectives, not unnecessary questions. Don't torture them with giving unnecessary questions. See, they cannot make out, but they spend time, Their 5 minutes also, it's a time for them, right? They should have seen videos in the mobile or something. They might have enjoyed by themselves looking at their own this one. But why you have to spend their time to your questionnaire? You think about them and you put yourself in their place, that while preparing your questionnaire. And one more thing also is there. It is not that you give less questions so that your all the objectives are not fulfilled. Okay, that is also not ethical in your researcher part of researcher's point of view. Okay, so you take everyone, you respect everyone's time you respect, and start preparing the questionnaire. Keep it in mind your objectives, keep it in mind your title, topic, and also if you have framed the hypothesis, keep it in your mind and start setting. Okay, so now, preparation of the questionnaire, how it should be, I can give you some guidelines. Okay, but more than that, probably you are the one, when you are sitting in front of the, prepare the questionnaire. So you have to the one the concentrate and find that your way, and think about what has been told today, and then start doing it. Okay, right. Okay, now how the preparation of the questionnaire. Okay. Now let us, what is the questionnaire? It's a technique of data collection in which each person is asked to respond to the same set of questions in a predetermined order. So questionnaire is given to everyone with the same order. We prepare one questionnaire and we take a printout of it or the xerox of it and we distribute them. And here they can privately respond for the questionnaire. That's the beauty of it, because they need not be influenced by your presence. They need not be influenced by anybody else. They themselves can sit and give the response by themselves, and their privacy has to be has to be maintained, in the sense you cannot disclose that particular information, whatever it's been given by them. You cannot disclose with anybody, and you cannot share it with anybody with the name. You can share the information, that's okay, because you are researchers, you have to, but not name. She has given this information, some problem is there, and that person is given with the name, like Mr. X is given this, Mr. Y is given this. We shouldn't, researchers shouldn't be, and people shouldn't be talking about individually what response they have given. It is very, very unethical, dear friends. Okay, people are giving you response, you should be grateful to them, okay, that they are giving you response. Your questionnaire should be such that it should it should, looking at the questionnaire, they should feel that, oh, I can answer this. I will fill this. You should feel that. Some questionnaire comes to you, you feel lousy about that questionnaire. Oh my God, who will read this? And what is this? That there is no connectivity, there is no logical sequence. You feel that, correct? No, it should not be like that. Whenever the questionnaire you receive, the people should feel that it should facilitate them to write, I'll fill the questionnaire. That type questionnaire you have to prepare. Okay, so questionnaire is a self-reported data collection instrument that is filled out by the research participants. We call who the person is giving the response for you called as research participant. Okay, it's a self-report. I'm writing myself what are the questions are given and what are the options being given, that I'm filling it by myself. Okay, so now the question is why a questionnaire is needed. Yeah, that you know that two basic methods of collection of data. One is three basic methods are there. It's a type instead. Observe them, that is observation method. Ask them, interview method, and question them, that is a questionnaire method. All right. So observation method is expensive, and there are people satisfactions, whatever attitudes, traits, and those characteristics, and we cannot observe. It need to be either asked or it need to be self-reported. All right. So it is not possible. That's why the observation method is completely ruled out majoritarily in social science research. Okay. So questionnaire method or interview method. Interview also, if you're doing interview also, the questionnaire should be ready with you. We call it as method of schedule, isn't it? So the questionnaire should be with you. So questionnaire preparation is must for interview method also, questionnaire method also. Okay. So why questionnaire is needed? To achieve speed and accuracy in the collection of data, to achieve speed and accuracy in handling the data within and between the offices for analysis. And questionnaire is less expensive and quick and versatile. Okay. And then questionnaire is one more very importantly, because that is if at all some things, see, certain things we cannot measure, all right? But using question, now you talk about our IQ of the person, how it is measured. It is not measured with any unit of, unit is not there. It's a set of questions actually. It's a questionnaire, but it's called a scale, okay? Standardized scale, okay? To develop a standardized scale also, we need a questionnaire, questions. After that questionnaire, it will undergo thorough reliability and validity, all proper statistical methods. And then finally, some questions are remaining. Those questions only will be used to measure certain traits. Okay, that's called a standardization of scale construction. Okay. So that's what in our one recently, which our paper has published, we have developed a scale called as a spirituality and the spiritual care scale. Okay, that scale can be developed. For that also we need a questionnaire. Okay, so now, what are the situations suitable for questioning? Questionnaire are used to measure individuals. When we have to use questionnaire, or which method is better? Whenever we are measuring the behavior of the person. Experience of behavior means what? Like the behavior of online purchasing, behavior. See, there was one interesting study, like, what is the behavior of the person when he is on the queue? Queue where? Queue in the, when you are in the malls, okay, supermarkets, okay, when you are going for a billing, you understood? Billing, you know that you have to be on the queue, right? If at all there are a lot of people, that in that queue, what thought going on in your mind, and how the people, or the how the supermarkets retain you in that queue, so that they should not, you should not be like, no, oh my god, this queue is never ending, I don't want any product, and throw the product there and come out. It should not happen, right? So what is that like? That is also a very interesting study, actually. The behavior of the customers when they are on queue. Okay, they are on queue towards billing. Okay, so that way, behavior, the study of behavior, then the experience. Suppose if you want to study somebody's experience, experience means beneficiaries, where they have experienced certain products, then what is their experience? Attitudes, what's my attitude towards certain things? What is my attitude towards online buying or online purchasing, or what's my attitude towards Kantara movie? That's also can be like, right? Then opinions. What's my opinion related to something? See, there are minute differences between the attitude and opinions. That's why, friends, I told you, whenever you are taking up certain concepts or certain words like this, it need to be defined. Operational definition need to be given, so that suppose if I ask what is the meaning of behavior in your study, you should be able to tell that the behavior in my study is this. Behaviors may be having so many meanings, but in my study I am taking in this sense. Because if you are behave that what is that meaning, if you are clear, then you can give the questions also very nicely towards that, if it is clear for you. So operational definition is very important when you are measuring certain traits of the human being, like this: opinion and belief. What is your belief? Okay, regarding certain aspects. Okay, values. What is your belief towards black magic and all things like that? Say there was a study, like, no, not black magic. There was a study. Somebody has done the study on whom, that. In Dakshina Kannada, we have something like, Darshana Patris are there. I don't know what do they call it is in English, but Darshana Patris are there. That is, so study on them, how, like, their contribution towards people's psychology. All right. So this study, very interesting, actually, very nicely, that values and beliefs and all these things are studied, and to study the knowledge, and then to study the practice of the, say, when the corona was there, all our undergraduate students, MBBS students and PGs will started studying about the practice of wearing the right gloves, right mask, okay, wearing of mask and types of mask and how long they wear, and like, that studies also they have done, actually. Okay, then like, use of like, those who are use of swimming, like, then doctors also they have done use of PPEs and all those things. Practice of that, how well they practice, or they simply, like, you know that some people, they wear mask, and when they're talking, they remove the mask and they talk. Okay, because usually actually they need mask that time when they're talking with the other person, but they remove the mask and they talk. So that and all practice, the studying of that, creating awareness, that and all they have done the studies. Okay, then background or demographic information. Suppose the people, like, to study the demographics of the people, like, See, now one of my sir, I am also the part of it, one study study of adverse effect of certain drugs. The geriatric patients will take a lot of drugs, you see. Okay, for hypertension, separate to one bunch of drugs, and like diabetes also some bunch of drugs, and also how many drugs they take on an average, and whether they have any, like what are the aim, and then what is their background, in the sense what is their age and occupation, all those things. So study of that in rural area actually. So this, for all these things we need questionnaires, dear friends. So each of these can be asked about with reference to the past, present, and future also. What you are going to be doing, what you are going to do, what you are doing it then, now what is your situation. All these aspects we can study through the questionnaires very beautifully, isn't it? So that's what we need to have that idea, like, no, I can ask such questions. Okay, so that you can have a lot of forecasting also with the certain types of studies. Okay, you can ask after, say, consumer satisfaction after in the malls. Suppose if you study some usage of using spa or some this one, but you can ask whether they are planning to come back in future also. This future, what is their whether they like to go for repurchase. You understood? Future, what they want to do, whether they want to come back or they want to go back to their retail people. Okay, so future also can be asked, right? So that is the beauty of questionnaire actually. Okay. In short, a lot of information can be obtained via questionnaire. Yes. Okay. But we have to prepare very scientifically and very logically, so that people should not be tired by answering only one or two questions and then say that you get lost. I can't answer all the questions. They shouldn't tell us. Okay. And also they shouldn't leave some questions. No response should be avoided. All right, in questionnaire. Okay, so we can have one brief, like, steps of questionnaire construction. Steps means there is nothing like, very like, I don't know, this is all what I can tell you, that, like, I concentrate, I mean, I collected and I put it in this form. Okay, specify research objective. Okay, in the sense that is important only, it has to be there. So you need to have the research objective. Then decide the method of data collection. Of course, questionnaire means only you can proceed with this. Determine content of the questionnaire. How to determine? Let us see. Determine type of question to use. Is there any type of question also? We know only what are the types I can give to my students. In questionnaire also types are there. Yes. Decide wording of the questions. Decide question sequence. Pre-code and obtain approval. Approval from who? Approval from your guide or anybody is good in that particular area. Expert opinion you have to take. Decide the layout. After obtaining approval, then you start, like, that's the draft. Then you start, like, properly arranging it. Pre-testing and pilot survey. It's very important for the questionnaire. Revise and implement. Start collecting the data in full-fledged way. All right. So these are the many questions. There is some numbering. There are 11 steps. It shows actually there is a 10 steps. Okay, 3 and 4. Here 1, 5 is missing. So these 10 steps. Okay, but first 2 steps already we do it in our research process. Okay, so only we have the 8 steps are there. Okay, first 2 objectives we do, we find out, and then data collection, questionnaire only we proceed, right? So that way, first way the research question. So step 1 and 2 let us consider now. Of course, it's done. That's what. Now, one example let me take. Customers' perception towards the banking products, services of public and private sector. This I have spoken about this thing and the objectives in the previous session also. Okay, objectives are all these also. Okay, now I have a question here. I have to I mean, not question. I will have objectives. Then now we have to prepare the questionnaire. Okay. The questionnaire method only can be adopted because you are collecting the data from the customers, and the bank customers, they are I think they know read the questions and write. So they are literate, so you can give to them only. All right. So now, so this is a study, right? Objectives. We have this study. So questionnaire preparation, I can divide into 3 parts: part 1, part 2, and part 3. So all your questionnaire should have to have these 3 parts. Okay. Part 1, okay. Yeah. Okay. Animation problem. Okay. Part 1 should contain demographic data, family details, and socioeconomic status. All these things comes under part 1. Okay. Part 2 is about the objectives, main core content of your study. Okay, 75% will be in this of your questions. 75% of the questions are in the part 2. Okay, it has to focus on all the objectives, and so many questions are hefty questions. It should come here. Okay, and part 3, other questions to know that what is their future plan, what all those things, other questions, just to for us to support something. You can ask their suggestions, what they want, what is their expectation. Some open-ended questions you can give them, and then you can ask their suggestions. And all will not answer, but some few will definitely will answer. You can use them for giving suggestions. You are considering it as your own suggestion, you can use them. So that is the other part. All right. These are the part I said. There is one part 0 also. One part is I am missed here. That is the first part. In your questionnaire, the first part should be the one you are declaring yourself that you are you're giving some introduction of yours and the study, and you're giving the declaration that I am not going to disclose your data, whatever you have given, it will be kept confidential, and you are signing. Okay, this part, what we call covering letter, should be there in any questionnaire. Okay, now we don't give it as a one sheet or as a covering letter, but one paragraph before any questionnaire it should contain, so that you are giving, that itself is taking consent from the people. Okay, see, in medical research here in medical college, I told you we have to get the ethical clearance, right? And also when we are giving the ethical clearance, they ask consent form. If your study is whether it is questionnaire or whether it is anything, if you are collecting the data in the medical college, we have to do the study. We have to give the consent form first to the patients. We have to get the consent of theirs, and then we can give the questionnaire. So it is that. So you are lucky enough that that much of procedures have not come at for in the other side. Okay, so taking consent is always is there. Actually, we say that oral consent. No, we take the oral consent, but there we have to take a written consent. That means one form we do, then we take the signature. Like when the patient goes for the operation theater, they'll come and take your signature like that. All right. So on consent form, you have to take the signature. Consent is taken because they are consenting, because I am using his time. He is willing to give his time. So it is ethically correct, like that it is. Okay. But now here it is not there, but you have to give that one paragraph saying that like that. So he'll read that and then he'll start filling the questions. So if he start filling the question, means he is consenting. The oral consent is there for you to give the uh, response. All right. So there are actually 4 parts: part 0, part 1, part 2, part 3. Part 0, because it is only that it is not giving you anything, but that's why it's called as part 0, part 1, part 2, and part 3. Hope it is clear. Of course, I have not spoken about any questions here. These 3 parts you should be taking care of. For example, part 1. Here, for this problem, whatever I have taken objectives, part 1 is profile of the customer. Part 2 is banking operation. She has taken, see, her questionnaire consists of part 1 is profile of the customer. Part 2, banking operations. In the banking operations, all these things has come. Part 3, other related information she asked. See, part 2, all these aspects regarding the objectives. Okay, so this is how it's been done. So that's step 3, determine content of the questionnaire. Okay, who has to determine the content? You yourself. Okay, how you determine? Look at the objectives. If you want, you put it on your wherever you are doing the work, you put it on your wall or somewhere, and that slips you can make and keep, because you cannot deviate from your questionnaire. Because I have seen the people putting a lot of questions and that may not carry any meaning out of it. So you concentrate. Why? Because I'm telling you, dear friends, it's a sheer waste of your time. Your time I'm talking about. Okay, that student I told you, she told 2 years she spent to prepare one questionnaire, and it is no link between the topic and this one. Then she's telling, my topic was that only before. Now it is changed. If it is changed, you have to prepare questionnaire for this. No, why you are bringing the questionnaire of that? You understood? I did not find any connection between in her logic. Okay, all right. Now, step 4 is determine the type of questions. Type of questions. What is the meaning of that? See, type of questions means, see, I cannot give you that this is a question you include in your study. Not like that, because your objective is different. If there are 100 people are there here, each one's objectives are different, and what they're looking for is different. Okay, so here what I'm telling is that determine whether an open-ended question should be given or closed-ended question should be given. Now, this is one more issue that I have come across. Open-ended questionnaire. Okay, happy. Okay, let them write. So my attitude was, whatever I have given the asking the question, let them write. But who will write? Nobody will write. Okay, why? One thing is that waste of lot of time. If at all you give the option to them, they are ready to tick. Okay, closed-ended is better than open-ended. All right. Now that's what you decide on open-ended, but sometimes you have to ask open-ended questions only. No, correct. No suggestions if you have to ask, and that's what. So open-ended questions provide qualitative data in the participants' own words. Okay. So, how to standardize that? How to analyze that? Each one's question, if I say that I am very happy that they say, some people, if you ask one question, some people speak half an hour, some people speak 10 minutes, and some people cannot speak even 1 minute. All right. So I am telling here, open-ended questions is that vast. Okay. So, own words, like for example here, please list up to 3 things you like about your job. Tell me, who will answer? Okay, if I have answered also, I will give some answer. See, open-ended questions are very good actually. Why? If at all people are giving you response, you get variety of response. Okay, what my feeling is there, it is not the feeling of the other. All right, different things are coming up actually, but analysis of that something called as different only. We call it as qualitative research. In that, that means we cannot statistically analyze that. That each individual's response as it is has to be analyzed. Okay, that's qualitative research. Coding and all those things are there if at all many sample is there. So now open-ended questions. If you want to ask, you are in trouble. If you are a 365 or 400 sample is there, no, you don't give, because your respondents will not answer. Okay, if they answer also, only 10 people might answer out of 365. Okay, so avoid that. That's what open-ended questions. Minimize the number of open-ended questions because they are time consuming to code, may generate responses that are inconsistent, they are more likely to be left blank, and they may decrease response rate. Yeah, difficult to analyze. All right. So open-ended questions, you get it. You put effort because preparation of open-ended question is easy. Okay. So preparation of questionnaire is easy. So it is open-ended questionnaire is easy. That's why don't think that I prepared the questionnaire like that. But everything is open-ended means nobody will answer. You don't get any response for that. Okay. So closed-ended questions are better, but it is troublesome for the researcher. Why? They have to prepare that what are the options to be given, right? So it will take little time. So provide quantitative data based on the researcher's response categories. Respondent is given the option of choosing from a number of predetermined answers. So you're giving me the responses, I mean, what responses, all possible responses you're giving me, and you are asking me to tick. Okay. Now, what are the types of closed-ended questions? All right, closed-ended questions. Sir, 1 minute.
Okay, madam. Participants, please bear with us.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, madam.
Okay, okay. Sorry for.
No problem.
Yeah, 1 minute, sir. I have water. So, yeah, we are talking about closed-ended questions. Closed-ended questions, what we are doing, we are giving the options to the people that they have to choose one of them. Okay, one or many of them. We will see what are the options are there. Now, types of closed-ended questions. Let us see. See here. See, listen to me carefully or concentrate here. It can be a single answer. It can be multiple answer. It can be rank order. It can be numeric. It can be Likert type. It can be semantic differential type. Okay, so these options are there. You have to use accordingly. It is not that in some you are using rating scale. See, suppose you ask, okay, uh, do you have chairs in your house? Like you think it is. Sometimes people ask, to know their socioeconomic status. Do you have TV in your house? Then what should be the answer? Yes or no? Correct? No. Instead of that, if you give strongly agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree, what is whether it is all right? It is not all right, right? So rating scale, where it has to be given, where only you have to give rating scale, that is like a type scale, where you have to give single answer, such questions only you have to give the single answer. So, which are objective in nature, no? They have to be given with the multiple answer or the single answer. Okay, rank order also fine. But there it is in terms of what you say, attitudes and perceptions and things like that, then you have to use we have to use uh, 1 minute. Sir. Okay. So when it is of perception kind, we have to use like a type of scale, rating scales type we have to use. Okay. So let us see one by one, single answer, multiple answer, rank order, numeric or Likert type or semantic differential, all these things, how it is being used, let us see. So one by one, single answer. Okay, single answer, how you can ask, have you done any research project during your UG days? All right. Now, this is one study done to know the research activity of students. All right. So, have you done any research projects during your UG days? This is the study done on MBBS students, all right? They have to answer yes or no, because if they have done yes, no, no. It cannot be perception, right? It cannot be strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree, or it cannot be low to high something, correct, no? So it is very objective question, wherein they can say that either yes or no, there is nothing in between. Maybe and all, it is not that. Because what is the meaning of if I say maybe? Maybe means either done or not done. I am only not sure, but it's not possible, okay? Right? Then during your PG program, how much importance you have given to research? Here also, see, less than 5% of time. So here option is given. It is a single answer where you have to tick. One response has to be ticked. Correct, no? So it is not the many things we are taking, only one answer has to be ticked. That's why it is called a single answer. Okay, one response, yes or no. Even rating scale also one response only, but that is not coming under this. All right, yes or no, and the giving certain of the responses like this, and they have to tick any one. That's about single answer. Then comes multiple answer. Okay. So multiple responses here, how it is like multiple responses are say here. What journals did you refer? What journals did you refer? Please tick. What's the meaning of that? They can tick more than one response here. Okay, they can tick more than one response, whether it is international journal, national journal, state level, or local, or like that. So more than one journal they have to take. So this type is called as multiple answer. Some people having the doubt about this also. Multiple response if they give, analysis is difficult. They think like that. Okay, but it is not like that. Analysis is not at all difficult. Okay, this option has to be given means you have to give only here, right? It is not that here they might have referred many more, but they can give only one means it's not their right response. So multiple response answers also, questions also you can give. Another one is, which among these would further improve customer service in e-banking services? Whether it is education, simplification of the rules, or customer counseling, or trained staff members or personalized services, which one? So there may be multiple response. So yes, or you can reason for the selecting the present bank. What are the reason for selecting present bank? So near to workplace, proximity to house, standard of service, familiar staff, and salary purpose and transaction. Like many more they have listed, and we have to tick. So these are all called as multiple response. And listen to me carefully. Analysis is not difficult. Analysis is not at all difficult. Okay, so dear friends, okay, we have to like no, it is not that only one response you are giving, multiple response answers also you can give like that. Okay, next one is rank order. All right, rank order here, how we can give rank order? Ranking means what? Ranking of one item in comparison with the other. Okay, a scaling technique in which respondents are presented with the several stimulus, means several questions, several responses, objects simultaneously, and asked to order or rank them with respect to a specific characteristic. Okay, see, courteous service. See, here they have to rank 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is not ticking. It is ranking which one I want first. You have to give the option here. Place 1 beside the attribute which is most important for you. 2 next to the attribute that is second in importance, and so on. Okay. So courteous service, friendly service, helpful service, and knowledgeable service. Okay, you have to, that is given like that. So ranking has to be given. So ranking is not rating here. Ranking means 1, 2, 3, 4, giving for different options. One. So one cannot be repeated one again in the other place. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Okay. So hope it is clear. Rank order here also you can see that. Please number each of the factors listed below in order of importance to you in choosing a new car. Number the most important one, more important as 1, the next as 2, and so on. Okay. One more is rank order the most important characteristics you want in the job you make your life's work, like no place one like that. See, high salary, security, continued interest, power, prestige, and excitement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is rank order. All right. Rank order also very common in social science research. Next is numeric. Next is numeric, where you are asking them to fill like, what is the answer for that? Annual income. They'll just write 20,000, 40,000, 60,000 answer. Okay. So annual income. Numeric also you can give. Okay. Basically, otherwise, if you give the category only, it is better. Okay. Category only, it is better. Okay. Next is Likert type of scale. Very famously, very mostly people are using this Likert type. And I also suggest, but when to use? Whenever you are trying to what measure the attitudes, perceptions, and belief. Okay, all these things whenever you are measuring, you have to use Likert type of scale. All right. Like strongly agree, disagree, neutral, agree, and strongly agree. Next is, I have the opportunity to develop my competence in research methodologies. Yeah, strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. Okay. A knowledge of research methods is important for PGs. Okay. So this is a perception. No, my perception. I can say no also. In the sense, I disagree also. I can strongly agree also. Okay. So that type of perception when you are measuring, you have to use like a scale. Okay. Do you feel that the bank has got appropriate system measures to minimize following operational risks? How satisfied are you with the banking products? Okay. Satisfaction. Next one is semantic differential scale. Okay. Semantic differential scale is like, no, it is not like a scale, okay, but it is a rating scale. How? It is like this, from low to high. You will be like, uh, they have to mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 10 also. Sometimes you can give 1 to 10, okay, but marking is there. It is just a low, 1 means low, and 7 or the 10 means high. There is nothing in between. All right. It is also very good to give like, whenever you are measuring the practice of something, okay, then we can use this semantic differential method. It's not the attitude, it's not the perceptions. Like here, reason for a preference of for e-banking. Why you prefer this? These reasons. What is your preference level? It is speedy delivery time or something like 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay, this is called a semantic differential scale. All right. Here there are some. How likely are you to purchase a laptop or PC in the next 6 months? How important is the weight of the laptop PC deciding which brand to purchase? Like
Excuse me, madam.
Yeah.
There is one question in the chat box from Tara Shetty.
Okay.
Ma'am, what is the difference between ranking and Likert type methods? She's asking.
Yeah. See, ranking is ranking 1, 2, 3 different products. Like you think Sprite is there, Coke is there, and one local brand is there. If three things if you give, and you have to rank these three according to 1, 2, 3. I can give one for like no Sprite, and two for Coke, and third one is three is for three local brand. And some people might give one for local brand and Sprite, two and three for the Coke. So there we are ranking them, comparing with the other product, other component. All right. But rating is Likert scale is myself. I am like strongly agree, or I agree about that one component only. Okay, talking about Sprite is very good, or Sprite smell is very good. Strongly agree, like that. You understood only one component and my perception. Ranking is the ranking of different products or different statements, comparison with each other. Hope it is understood. All right. Okay. Is that understood, sir?
No, she has not responded anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nagraj Pujari,
Ah,
explain with one easy example.
easy example. Okay.
I think once again he's asking about the difference between ranking and Likert type methods, I think.
Likert type scale. Okay. Uh,
And that
now
Tara
suppose.
Shetty has understood, madam. Tara Shetty has understood.
Okay, okay. Like no, Nagraj, like no. Suppose, yeah. If you ask me what is your opinion about Nagraj, okay, very good, good, and neutral, not good, or like no one rating scale if you give, okay, then I have to answer in that rating scale. Now, I suppose if you are asking me, you rank the following people: Nagaraj, Ram, Lakshman, and like no some other person as Nagaraj, Ram, Lakshman. Three people are there. Okay. Now I have to rank them. Whether Nagaraj I have to rank one, or Lakshman I have to rank one, or I have to how I'll rank. I'll rank them. So option I have to give that you rank them according to so and so. Okay. Then I'll rank Nagaraj 1 and Ram 2 and Lakshman 3, or I can rank Nagaraj 3, Lakshman 1. You understood, no? The particular regarding some certain trait, I have to rank you three people. That is ranking. Rating is my opinion about only Nagaraj. All right. And only Ram, only Lakshman. Okay. Not comparison with the three. Hope you understood, Nagraj. Yeah.
Yeah, well understood,
Alright.
ma'am. One.
Yeah. Okay. So semantic differentials also you can take 1 to 10. There is nothing in between. We just say that low to high or mild to severe. Okay, like this. That is semantic differential method. Okay. After that, so we have time, no? Yeah. So this is very important, dear friends. What is important? Deciding the options. That is, whether it is rating scale, whether it is ranking scale, whether it is single opinion, multiple response, you have to decide on that. Whenever you are measuring the perception, see, are you satisfied? Yes, no. That is not at all option. You cannot have, see, satisfaction means I cannot say that, yes, I am satisfied. No, I am not satisfied. No, it should be like, no, yeah, opinion it is, my perception. It is not something objective, it is something a subjective feeling. So it has to be in the rating scale. All right. So you need to decide you are giving a rating scale or you are giving a objective type of like a yes no kind or multiple responses you are giving. You have to decide in your question. All right. So now, fifth one is deciding the wording. So how the question need to be framed. Okay. Whenever you are given statements, whenever you're given response, what is the rating scales, you have to give the statements. Okay. the questioning. So we can give the words or the questions asking who, what, when, why, where, and how also, or subjective versus objective, or positive questions you can give, or negative questions also you can give. Suppose you think it is a positive question, people, no, whenever you give the questionnaire, if it is strongly agree, just tick strongly agree, they'll tick and they'll give back. In that, maybe some questions may be in the negative, reverse order is there, in that strongly disagree, maybe the reason for that. Okay, so negatively wording means it is I am not satisfied in the institution, strongly agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. I am satisfied in the institution. See the two difference. I am not satisfied, you are giving in the negative way. I am satisfied, that's in the positive way. All right. So such type of questions also can be given. You can give, but you have to use simple words. See, I am very good with vocabulary doesn't mean that if I show it in my questionnaire and people will not read your questions, dear friends. Those vocabularies will not help to get the responses. Okay, so you use simple words wherein people can understand and respond for that. All right. Next is avoid ambiguity. Ambiguity in the words, in the sense, I will be confused that what to answer, for what to answer. Like for example, um, are you satisfied with the dosa and chapati which is given in the canteen? Okay, hope you are understanding what I'm telling. This is a simple example I'm giving. Are you satisfied with the dosa and chapati in the canteen services if you are rating? Okay, now here I should give the response for dosa or chapati. I'll have a doubt, no, because chapati is made up of something else and dosa is made up of something else, and in that dosa is good but chapati is not good. I'll have a doubt, correct? No, such type of ambiguities should not be there in the questions. All right. Questions about personal information need to be buffered with an explanation, because personal type of questions we shouldn't be asking. It can be buffered by giving some reasons in the study, if at all it's required to give. Okay. So that is a fifth step. Decide the wording, proper wording you decide so that people can understand that, and the options for that, write the options for that, so that people can tick the options. Okay. Next is sixth step. Decide question sequence. Decide question sequence. What is the meaning of that? That should be like opening questions. Like that question should win the respondent's interest. How to give, usually that's why people will give demographic data. It is like it is giving some flow for the people, like okay, that without thinking they can tick, so it will give the flow for the next set of questions. So demographic data, if you give first, then they'll start ticking, then you can give your related objective related questions. Okay, opening questions must win the respondents' interest. That is nothing like no respondents are interested in anything, but some questions you give that is easy for them. Okay, easy to difficult. Make your questions easy to difficult, and the logical order should be there. See, suppose sometimes some questions you are giving that. You refer the question number 7 and answer this question number 10. They have to refer back 7th question and then they have to answer question number 10. Such type of questions you don't give, please, because that will not give us any answer for that. Okay. Next is no cross-referencing. That's what I told you, 7th question, and you are asking, you are in a 15th question, but I have to refer some 7th question to answer that 15th question. No, it should not be. Demographic questions at the end or at the beginning can be given. Okay, so you can decide the question sequence. Okay, then you have to obtain the approval. Okay, pre-coding. Pre-coding, why? Because all the questionnaires which you distribute, it need to be coded. Why? Because you will understand that which are the questionnaires come back. For that reason, each questionnaire must contain a code to help in tracing up to the source. Okay, it is good practice actually. To facilitate data entry and analysis, assign the codes to each question and its possible answers. Okay, coding has to be done. After that, prepare a rough draft, and get approval from the respective people, whomever, if at all you have to show somebody, show that, or maybe guide, get the approval. This is the initial stage of your questionnaire. You have done it with all the utmost care. Actually, you have taken a lot of time to prepare. Yes, okay, no problem. But rest of the journey will be easy if you put more effort to prepare the questionnaire. Prepare the draft and get approval. Okay, approval from the guide. After getting the approval, then again properly decide the layout, prepare the final draft. Okay, so in that also, layout of the questionnaire should be easy to control and easy to handle. That form you have to put it, and font size used should be easy to read. You know, there's some questionnaire you get, sometimes that options you have to see in like, for my simple specs, it may not be seen, like, you have to struggle to read and things like that. Don't do that, because if at all given the space and all, it will run into so many pages. And if at all so many pages means, people will get like, oh, so many pages are there, how I'll answer. That's the one impression researchers have. And also, like, so many pages means there's so many costs also involved, right? So
Excuse me,
don't. Yeah.
madam.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
one question in the chat box from
Ah,
Hari. Ma'am, can we make both online questionnaire as well as a printed questionnaire? That is the question from Hari, madam.
yeah. Yes, see, you can do online question, a Google form you can prepare and also print it, no problem at all. But at the end of the day, all the questionnaire, Google form, and your whatever you have collected personally should get into the, like, master chart. Master chart you should be able to prepare properly. Okay, so that's why Google form also you can do, but there you cannot, like, ask the people follow up and all. It is not there, no. It is not possible to do. You can do that if it is, you feel easy. Only Google form also fine. Okay, and both is fine, but at the end you should be able to have a master chart in the finally you need to have a master chart of the data should be analyzed, no. So, because in the Google form, it will give you things in Excel form also, and then you have a questionnaire form that you have to enter. So, there's a coordination problem will be there, but it can be rectified also. It's not so difficult. If you take some computer people help, and you can recode and things like that can be done. Okay.
Madam, there is one more question from Vijay Baswaraju.
Uh,
Whether logical order means arranging questions in a meaningful order.
yes, meaningful order. Okay, like, suppose you are talking about working condition of the institution or in the organization, working condition related questions you put it. So why I am asking, if at all people come and show me the questionnaire, then I'll ask. First objective questions are there, I'll ask first. They're there, ma'am. One is here, one is there, one is here, one is there, something and all they'll tell. Okay. One is, yeah, a few questions are there. It is there in first page here, and another one is there in the last page, like that. You understood? So that way, one logical sequence you follow, so that people can easily, like, it is easy for you also to understand. That's why one side heading you give and all the questions related to that concept you give. Like that, it is very good actually if you make it like, so objective one is demographic detail, that is first. Objective two is regarding the bank services. Okay, that only bank services only you give related to that only. Next is related to perception regarding the services. Okay, there are so many services. Perception regarding online, I mean, credit cards, or the perception regarding ATM cards and all. Make it separate like that only. Under the heading, if you give, it is easy for you to understand also, you to analyze also, and it is easy for the people to understand that it goes in the proper flow. Okay. So font size should be appropriate, minimum 12 font size should be there in a questionnaire when you are handling with the personal questionnaire. Okay. Next,
Madam,
is it, yeah.
Manoj sir has answered the
Mm,
question,
mm,
answered earlier question. In
mm,
lighter vein, sequencing of questions would mean question number
mm.
6, how many children you have? And question
Ah,
number 7, are you married? Are you married
mm.
should come first.
First.
Then,
Yeah,
yeah, then
correct.
how many children you have should come next. Yeah, well answered, sir. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. Yeah, yeah. That's what. It's like that. So, demographic details like that only, instead of a number of children, you are asking, that's rightly answered by Manoj sir. Asking first and then next asking, are you married and how many people are there in the house and things like that. Okay, data. So, that should be on logical sequencing that. Okay. Okay, easy to fill with the minimum effort on respondent's part. Okay, should not appear to be bulky. Okay, should withstand the wear and tear of the handling by multiple people. See, some questionnaires are very once if you turn that, it will become that not nice like that. Nice paper you make when you are giving the people. Okay, they shouldn't think that what is this? What type of questionnaire it is? They don't have proper paper also, something like that. That type of thing should not be there. Nice one you give because you are taking their effort, their time for yourself. So you make the questionnaire attractive. Doesn't mean that you have to give outline and some coloring and some flowers and here and not like that. The questionnaire should be attractive in that logical sequences should be, and easy, the simple words, not there's no ambiguity in that. All these things felicitate the people to give the response. No response will be rest. No response is there, that is a threat for a researcher. Okay. So now the step 9 is about pilot study. Pre-testing is there. Once you prepare the final questionnaire, no, it is not yet finalized. Okay. But from your part, it is finalized. Pre-testing is important. Pre-testing means you are giving,
Madam,
yeah.
there is one question in the chat box from Shailaja NR.
Uh,
Madam, how to analyze multiple answer questions?
Yeah, you can analyze. I'll tell you tomorrow if at all you
Yeah,
are
yeah.
there. SPSS when we are handling, I'll tell you that. Only thing is that while coding, while preparing the master chart, you have to prepare it properly. That's all. You can analyze that easily. All right. Okay. So pre-testing is must. Pre-testing means you are giving the questionnaire to somebody to read if at all any grammatical problems are there, any whether the certain things are not very easy to understand, or some people you give to read that. All right, just to read about the flow of the questions, and then any shortcomings are there in the questionnaire to identify possible shortcomings. Pre-testing is required. That is just with somebody, some people just like that. They need not to know the topic, but you ask them to read. Okay. All right. So next is after pre-testing, then you have to do pilot study, dear people, dear friends. Okay. Pilot study, pilot survey. Okay. What is this pilot survey? Pilot survey is small study of the how you conduct main study. It's a small study in the sense on few people you are collecting the data. That means from your people only, the respondents only. Who are the respondents? Whether it's college teachers, whether it is small vendors, whether it is the fisher community, or whether it is who, okay, or the doctors. Pilot survey you do from collect their data. Okay. Usually, pilot survey, the usual method of thing is pilot study has to be done 10% of the main sample size. Okay. 10% of the main sample size you have to take. If your sample size is 300, 130 people, you have to definitely collect the data, we say. But why this pilot study is done? Pilot study is required to know that reliability and validity of the data. Okay, reliability and validity of the data. See, so far you are doing the questionnaire and you are getting the approval from the people, but then you have not seen how the people are responding for that. So to find out reliability and validity, pilot study is important. Okay. But dear friends, if you see that reliability and validity is a big, big concept. I told you no, if you have to construct a scale, this reliability and validity has to be thoroughly has to be taken care of, and we have to uh, collect data also a lot, and then we have to do this reliability and validity very thoroughly using confirmatory factor analysis, exploratory factor analysis. Okay, so that we can say that it is reliable and valid. It can be used to measure certain things. But for our research, for one's research, we need not to go in deeper sense of all these things. Okay, certain level of validity and certain level of reliability is enough. How much is enough? Okay, testing validity, face validity, and content validity is enough. Okay, face validity and content validity is enough. Then in the, but there are four types are there: face validity, content validity, criterion validity, and construct validity. These are the four types are there. But for us, face validity and content validity is enough. Face validity is the face validity that the researcher himself is collected and prepared the data. No, content validity means the researcher has to give one, three, four people minimum to read your questionnaire. And if there are any problems are there in the sense certain questions are really not addressing your objectives or not at all necessary, and some questions they have not added, it is missed off from your site. So such things, information they have to give you. So that's why content validity is very much important. Okay, like when I was talking about this validity, I have given, I was giving one example for the students actually, for them to like just fun with that. Face validity means, I used to tell them, face validity means love at first sight. Okay, you look at the person, oh, okay, all fell in love, like that. Love at first sight is a face validity. After in love, then you have to get married. No, that time the parents are doing the content validity. Correct? No, basically the girl parent will see that what all things are there with the boy. Okay, how much asset and things like that. Even okay, boys also will like see that what all, like, you understood, no? The content validation, each and everything will be like analyzed, or analyzed means it will be read, and the proper input will be given for a content validity. For that, expert opinion we call. Otherwise, on five people at least, we have to three to five people at least you have to give the questionnaire and get their consent for that. Whatever changes they'll ask you to do, of course, you have to take care of it. Okay. Next is reliability. Reliability is for the questions what you have taken, no? How they are interlinked between them. Okay. To test that, there are methods are there: test, retest, internal consistency, and alternative forms. What I suggest is internal consistency is enough for the management research, for because you are not going to take up like it's not experimental study, or it's not it is not what is that scale construction. So internal consistency by Cronbach alpha, it is enough. Okay, find out Cronbach alpha. That is too only for those rating scales and attitudes and perceptions. If at all you measure, that becomes more important in that place. Internal consistency. Okay, so that's why pilot study is important, dear friends. Okay, so whatever lacuna is there in your study in the first pre-testing, somebody will give the suggestion, and then validity, face validity that you yourself is doing. Okay, content validity that the experts will definitely give you certain opinion, and then comes internal consistency. If you show that there is a Cronbach alpha is so much, it is above 0.7, then it's done. Your questionnaire is ready for a final preparation. Okay. So revise everything and implement. Now you have to implement the questionnaire. Implement the questionnaire means what? Your questionnaire is ready to collect the data. All right. Now collecting the data. So main studies, we call it as main study. So you are going to the field to collect the data. All right. So it is, that is the way of questionnaire to be done. Hope it is okay for you. Okay, now a little bit about again more thing about the questionnaire only. Preparing the good questions, questionnaire. Use simple words, be brief, avoid ambiguity, avoid leading questions, avoid double-barreled questions. Yeah, this is one more thing. Double-barreled questions, know what I told. Are you satisfied with the dosa and chapati, which your canteen is providing, canteen product? It is double-barreled because you will be thinking about what I have to give the opinion, whether it's the chapati or the dosa. Dosa I like, but chapati I don't like. What to do? Understood? Such questions you avoid. Okay. Check the questionnaire layout. Prepare clear instructions. Give the clear instructions what they have to do. They can select multiple response, or they have to select only single response. You have to give the clear response. Sequence, question sequence also you have to take care of. Okay. So here one double-barreled questions, what it is there. See here. Employees are friendly and helpful. You have to give the response for friendliness, or you have to give the response for helpful. So many people will be friendly, but they may not be helpful, right? Some are very helpful, but they may not be friendly, right? So employees are friendly and helpful. What to answer? It's should in such case it's better to divide them. Like employees are friendly, employees are helpful. Divide them. Make two separate questions. Employees are courteous and knowledgeable. Again, same in the same thing. So they are courteous but not knowledgeable, but they are knowledgeable but not courteous. They are both. If they are both, then yeah, you can give. But if they are not both, then yeah, it's better to divide. Okay. So, and then branching questions we say that if yes, answer this. If no, answer this. That time we should be very careful. Careful in the sense, people might simply give thinking that some you see, if yes you have to answer, right? Then down it is if no also they have to answer. The person who said no, he shouldn't be giving the response for if yes. He has to jump to that column there if no. But what they do, our respondents, they answer both. If yes also they answer, if no also they answer. What to do, what to be done, right? Such questions also you have to be a little careful.